Good day, good way to you all. Today is 12/26, and it's halfway through. This reading will be about the lessons of 2025. How old is brother? Now, when I say lessons, it's not Lesson. Again, resonance only, ignorance always, and you have to let your life tell your tale. I'm saying lesson as in Lessen. We're only going further. We're only going further away from ourselves. We are reducing ourselves for the benefit of ego. Again, you gotta let your life tell your tale. So whereas normally people will say, I'm here to learn a lesson, most people are only lessening themselves. We're giving our energy into inconsequential shit that really only matters because we give it our attention. So throughout the year where you're supposed to be learning how to, a hashtag I used to use, reduce your egoic footprint, wholeness. You're supposed to be learning how to reduce your egoic footprint, meaning turn every experience that's presented as an opportunity to focus on me. That is what you should do with everything in your life. Everything going on around you, you should look at you first and see exactly what it means to you. And before you go, figure out why. But falling for the spells by creating them. We fall for the spells by creating them because it's so much shit out here that could potentially pull you apart that the only thing we do is respond to what's pulling us apart, which again, where I'm getting at is, if you learn the lesson, you will stop pulling yourself apart and focus on holding yourself together. This is something I talk about a lot. This is basically everything is a distraction right now. This is spiritual malware, spiritual adware. We talk about this shit on our phone all the time. Things keep coming up on your timeline, wanting on you to click on it just to distract you. You can sit there and have some random thoughts and holy shit, it pop up on your timeline because it's already in your head trying to distract you to feed it the energy. All the shit that's going on around us, these fake wars, these fake religions, these fake spiritual systems, this fake false sense of spirituality, this high-end immorality, finger pointing, all that other stuff, they're just distractions. They're just distractions. You have to focus on what is relevant to you, and then the dirty word I kept trying to teach y'all, why? Why is it even relevant to me? Is it enhancing my quality of life, or is it only making me better at recognizing the struggle? This is where I lose a lot of my fellow conspiracy theorists. A lot of y'all are only wanting to be better at recognizing the struggle, but you have zero peace. And if you know anything about this sacred clown, I told you a long time ago, peace is a trick. But if you can't find peace in everything that's designed to keep you in pieces, you have zero chance at wholeness. You have to start operating out of wholeness so you can figure out what's pulling you apart. And then you have to get to the point of where, holy shit, it's not pulling me apart. I just keep choosing to give it my energy. Can I help you? Yeah, I want to give you a new roof. Okay. Who's wrong? The motherfucker selling or my dumb ass that made the purchase? And that may be a stretch, but that's really what y'all need to start doing. Everything that is knocking on your energetic door does not require your attention. Awareness of me keeps me out of the foolishness and fuckery of everybody else. You have to learn to say that. The other way I say it is, not my circus, not my monkeys, but that's a hard one because we're all a part of the shit show. So if I'm a part of the shit show, I have to honor that the awareness of myself in the shit show mean that the first person that's going to shit on me is me. Now, if somebody I hire shits on me more than when I'm shitting on myself, then I can look at them, but I still missed the picture. I still didn't learn the lesson because I still keep showing up for the spell. So real quick, as the caption put, and I don't know if they even showed it, but the caption for this was the lessons of 2025. Because again, I've been saying it for a long time and I'm going to say it again. We were supposed to be in this year of knowledge. 2025 is a 9 by Chinese astrology. It's the year of the snake. The snake represents knowledge. You were supposed to be learning when, holy shit, you got tricked. You understand that? In the analogy of the snake in the allegorical Garden of Eden and all that other bullshit, the snake is represented as a trickster, which, speaking as a trickster, that's bullshit. The snake told you what the fuck was going to happen if you don't pay attention to your choices. Please eat that respectfully. The snake told you what was going to happen if you don't understand your choices. If you keep voting for your destruction because you thought somebody was going to destroy you quicker, slap yourself twice. I choose this destructive system because that destructive system was already oppressive. At what point did you set yourself free? But you're going to come up with some bullshit out of your mouth because you already distracted, which means you help cast a spell because you keep lessening yourself for stuff that only wants you to keep showing up for the experience. You understand that? The experience itself, the universe is only wanting an experience. That's the lesson. The lesson is, and people say this metaphysically too, you're here to learn the path of ascension. Ascension means to move further away from something. You're here to learn you, but you're learning you in ascension. Break that shit down. I'm learning me, moving away from myself in favor of the experiences that I keep calling my lesson. And holy sheep shit, it is lessening me. But I think I'm more because I done been through something. Spiritual idiocracy, but you can't be taught or told nothing different because you're too distracted by focusing on the same. Resonance only, motherfuckers, resonance only. So 12 lessons that only made us fail because we're too busy buying the same trap, waiting on the same trap to set us free. We give our energy into the same systems that entrap us, expecting them to recognize our sovereignty when we didn't recognize our sovereignty by selling our energy into what took it. This is no different than going to the master's door and telling him, hey, boss, we finna have a revolt next week. I just want to let you know because I think it's only fair that you see that we tired of the shit. Okay. Gotcha. 12 lessons. Ascension is a trap. Anything that denote personal experience, personal level of awareness as somebody who operates from the illusionary perception of wholeness, be fair with you, operate from wholeness. Anything that requires your movement is already a trick. Why? Because it tells you that there's something better than what you already are. That is already wretch mentality. That is already scarcity consciousness. The minute that I need to do something to create means I was already not enough in my stillness. It's a mental sickness. It is the perpetuation of a spell called self and separation. Only once you separate yourself into the separation, you no longer are yourself. You're the ideology of what you separated yourself into. Notice how on my screen, you can't even see you. This was me. I didn't like what I was, so holy shit, I created an avatar to become something else. Now I no longer remember what I was because I invested all my energy into what I can become. BECUM. You're nutting on yourself. We nut on ourselves by lying to ourselves and telling ourselves that there is something more than what we are. And holy shit, we helped create it. Since the antiquity of time. As an animist, since the antiquity of time. That's how you get deities. That's how you get nature spirits. That's how you get daemons. That's how you get angels. That's how you get anything. Demigods, devas, asuras, bodhisattvas, and all this other shit. You come up with everything in existence because you no longer know what you are. So the human psyche requires a label. So you cast a spell on yourself to give yourself an identity where you already lost your own. So the whole process is, in this year 2025, which was supposed to show you that knowledge got you fucked up, everybody went deeper into knowledge trying to find a way to get free. What was the first words I told you? Knowledge already got you fucked up. So if knowledge got me fucked up, why do I keep going to it? This is the same shit I've been, low-key saying, and I get guilty of this shit too, because I'm here and I'm gonna play the game. Egoically, I'm gonna play the game. That's my trauma I gotta face. That is no different when you see people taking one lying-ass religion to dispel another lying-ass religion when both the motherfuckers is false. So if it's all false, how am I trying to find the truth? If the allegorical, and I hate this word pagan because at Animist, we predate paganism. Pagan is anything that Christian didn't understand and decided to put a label on it as they were stealing it. Just to be quick. So as I take things that were accepted in antiquity, ancient knowledge, and it now to get transported into formatted, organized knowledge, but ancient knowledge was only me trying to find something to understand, doesn't mean it was really there. It just means it's the story that was the safest one to tell. Yep. So if it was the safest story to tell, and then somebody tell another story that stole from my story to tell to everybody else, why would I go back to the story that was told to me to dispel the story that got told to everybody else, but get so hell-bent on what the new story has done to me that I forget that the old story was just a story? I hope that didn't confuse you. Well, see, in antiquity, the people of this region was darker in color. So Jesus historically would have been black. I don't give a fuck if the motherfucker was black or white. He's invisible. I don't give a fuck if the motherfucker was real or false. He's invisible. I don't give a fuck about none of it because what are we doing now? But you keep selling your energy into the stories of what you want him to do while doing nothing for yourself. You only lessen yourself into the spell. Why? Because you're already begging for a teacher, master, to come set you free. When the only thing enslaving you was the fact that you won't set yourself free from stories that you keep lying to yourself. Oops. So, it don't matter who's doing any of this shit to us. Why do we keep showing up playing the game? 2025 showed us we like to keep showing playing the game because we haven't learned enough. It's a spiritual addiction. And if you've been following me for any time, I've already told you 2026 is going to be the highlighted version of spiritual addictions. 2026 is the year of empathy. Empathy is the things that you're connected to. Knowledge has people so fucking disconnected in connection that wait till next year. Hell, it starts next week. The spiritual addiction of trying to tell people what you know or what you no longer want to know because it's affecting you so deeply is going to become a very nasty thing out here. People have lessened themselves into what everything has shown them it is and is not this year, that they can't accept it, that next year they're going to try and force it. So the 12 things, because there's 12 months, the 12 things that we missed in 2025, because as I was saying, knowledge showed up and said, hey, I got you all fucked up. Knowledge, the Leviathan, the Ophiuchan symbol, the Leviathan spell, the Kingu curse, I can't think for myself, the Tower of Babel confounding of man, all that shit's tied in together. Where you have been taught not to think for yourself. If you've been taught not to think for yourself, you think for whoever's programming you. What is the biggest thing we always cry about out here in the society today? Man, they got everybody programmed. Okay, so if they got everybody programmed, why are you going to the program to get free? 12 lessons, 2025 itself, 13 cards. 2025 itself, the year of knowledge, the year of control, the year of trickery, said don't trust shit. It already told you, don't trust shit. It's all a trick. But you're going to keep coming over to it. Overcoming. The king of earth. The king of earth is the ruler of knowledge. Fanatics are going to go ham. Not your circus and not your monkeys. Because again, to be fair, my brother, we're all fanatics. In the minute that we give our energy into somebody else, makes us fanatic too. Because the whole game is not to be moved by anybody else. But we see so much bullshit out here that should not be taking place that we get moved. That's the egoic function of having empathy. We care so much that we don't care, so we get affected by the foolishness that we see. So you have to watch yourself too. We have to watch ourselves. Don't get moved by this shit. Just observe it and make better choices within yourself. Why? Or else you're going to become Martin. Overcome. I'm going to keep trying to get ahead of this shit. But again, as I said earlier, if you be still, there's nothing to get ahead of. If you can be still, there's nothing to get ahead of. The whole trick was getting you to move, and now you got to try and get free. 2026 is going to try and move the fuck out of everybody. 3, the thoughts. 0, fool. The thoughts will fool you into overcoming. Again, the analogy to tie in good old MLK, most of his advisors was of the sickest motherfuckers on this planet. Most of his advisors were from the sect of the sickest motherfuckers on this planet that have proven to be the best writers of the spell. So if he can get tricked into getting doctrine from the sickness to offer to his people as healing, and look at where we're at, should he have ever come over to it? I fear I integrated my people into a burning house. Yes, you did. And while you righteously, on some levels, might have been trying to do it authentically, you didn't realize the snake was already there. Oops, and at that moment, they done already fucked with my live. But I'm going to finish this reading. Fuck you, Instagram. Because you owned by the same motherfuckers. So, if you keep coming over to the trick that ain't going to do nothing but teach you how to go through shit so you can learn to be still, what did I already tell you? The whole game was be still before something move you. Not be moved by everything so that you can get rid of it so you can learn to be still. The whole year 2025 said the thoughts will trick you. The year of the snake said, I'm going to trick you. Why? Because I teach you everything that I want you to know. Too easy. If the slave only believe in what the master has left for them to learn, fill in the blank. Real talk. If the slave is only using everything that the master left there for them to see, fill in the fucking blank. January, you already tricked. The year already told you, I'm going to get you to come over to everything I want you to see, because as long as I got you seeing shit, you won't be still. If you remember when we came into 2025 in January, it was much like how it was in 2024. We was on some heavy Mitch energy. People was already stammering with which celebrity was doing this and which celebrity was doing that. And Trump done got back in the office and now they finna do this. Groceries finna get cheaper. Nah, man, shit finna get bad. Everybody was already bickering and arguing on what it was gonna be before it got there. But as I said earlier, if you got to bicker about which side is going to be worse than the other, the potentiality of both of them being bad should have been enough. When you saw you wasn't getting everything that you was going to see out of neither one of them, why'd you keep choosing? You'll lie to yourself. You'll lie to yourself and keep going back into overcoming because you think you have no choice for yourself. So you keep choosing from everything that already got you dominated. January, you was already dominated. You was already dominated. Empathy. January of 2025 already told you what 2026 is going to be like. Why? Why, you ask? How could January of 2025 already tell me what my 26 is going to be like? Because it already told me which path my energy was being moved into. Energy being moved into a path and why. 26, 2, connection, 6, traumas. The only thing they have to do to us, and this is proven true to this day, the only thing anybody has to do is tickle your traumas and it'll move you. Traumatize somebody and they will move in accordance with the strongest trauma, trying to either achieve or maintain safety. Jedi mind trick. So January already said 2 + 6, 8. They already got you in struggle. The year of knowledge, you don't want to know yourself. You just want to know the safest thing left out here for you, which means if I'm teaching you, you're going to learn a lesson. You're going to learn a lesson. Yep. Triggers move as long as the person stay a weapon. A weapon that's not loaded, the trigger don't mean a goddamn thing. I can go grab any one of my weapons right now. They're not loaded. The clips are, but the clips aren't in the weapon. So I can squeeze the trigger all day long. Nothing. No effect. But the minute that the weapon accepts the bullets, now you got danger. That's how everything is on the daily. Everything here is designed to trigger you until you stop triggering yourself. Don't be the gun. Don't be the weapon. So February said in 2025, January said you were supposed to learn empathy. You were supposed to learn which way your energy was going. Empathy, the energy being moved into a path that should show me why. Y as in WHY and Y as in YOU. Everything that moves me should show me me. if I'm moved by everything and it's got my energy, then holy shit, I'm triggered. Take your time with that one. If everything out here is moving me and I'm pissed off about it, I don't have no peace. And as I said earlier, if you don't have no peace, don't even let the word wholeness come out your mouth. So January took us into February. February 2025, the lesson that we missed, we forgot to understand what ignorance really is. I own this one. This is Zero, the fool card. This is SU, the trickster himself. You didn't see the trick. You didn't see the trick that already told you don't go down that road, don't go down that road, don't go on that road or that road. Sit your punk ass down and be still. You ignored the signs. Go back to February. Once that orange motherfucker got elected into office again, shit was already built up. And to be fair, you cannot think that he is behind all this shit. You are missing so much if you think that he's running the show. He is just the face for what makes people move. He's a trauma and a trigger. He is a traumatic trigger for the American psyche, let alone the psyche of the planet. So he's the good face to put in front of him to keep things status quo. You didn't see the trick because you was too busy. You was too busy focusing on the trickster. What was 2025? The year of the trickster. But you ignored it. So why? Zero, you fooled yourself. Zero is everything, but zero is also nothing. You saw everything, but you understood nothing. 2025, we saw everything, but people barely understood anything. You didn't understand anything that was going on right in your face. You just put your spin on it, or you went to the most traumatic ass guru that you thought had an answer, and you bit into it because it kept your traumas feeling safe, and now you're all in fucking danger. Oops. And then you marched right on into the vibrational new year, the vernal equinox. March of 2025 said, holy shit, what I told you in winter of 2024, the seeds you plant, now you finna eat these motherfuckers come 2025 in spring. So here is where that winter solstice from 2024 became manifested. Go back to your timeline. Right around March is when we started to realize, holy shit, this motherfucker crazy. Holy shit. These motherfuckers crazy because now DEI is being removed and all this other shit. And you got to get bigger than what we did in this country, but I'm using these as lesson points. We only gave our energy into the most depraved of fucking shit, and it only reduced us all by whole. The wholeness within us all got reduced by paying attention to the depravity in the majority. So Mark said, holy shit, all you got to do is distract them. March said, all you got to do is distract them. March said, all you got to do is distract them and they'll burn themselves. Passion. 2, 3. They'll connect to whatever the thought that already told them to see. 23, the element of fire. They'll burn themselves. Why? Because again, like I told you, that orange motherfucker is just a sacred clown. Told y'all that way back in 2015. You can go back and find my post. That motherfucker's a sacred clown. We offend. We show you who you really are. You just don't like the truth put in front of your face. That is a function of a Heyoka. As a sacred clown, we only shine the mirror on what you believe in so that you can figure out whether it's your truth or whether you're just hiding behind your traumas. Unfortunately, at his level, he's shown us where a lot of people's truth is in their sociopathic, depraved, pedophilic, pederastic ass mentality, but it's safe. It's safe to be a degenerate in a degenerative society that don't want any change for itself. And that's what he shows us. He showed us that sickness rules this realm, while those who always run around crying about they sick don't want healing. Why? Because they're too busy crying at who they think made them sick that they don't take no accountability for staying in the sickness themselves. Oops. You see how there was no absolution there? March showed you your passion is all fucked up. You're passionate about who's harming you, but you're not passionate about healing or helping yourself. Yep, comfortably uncomfortable. Hashtag I've been using since about 2014. Comfortably uncomfortable. Sitting in hell and wonder when somebody gonna bring them ice water. But won't do anything to put the fires out for themselves. So Mark said 2 threes, the thought ain't gonna do nothing but replicate. The thought says keep giving me your energy. So 2 threes became 33, the number of experience, the number of the Kundalini, the number of the Freemasons, number of all that bullshit. You have to understand everything here is a reflection of the spell designed to keep you seeing it so that you don't see yourself. And in the moment you keep seeing it, because it becomes of such an importance to take apart, you are taking apart what already took you apart. So once you finally figure out how to take it apart, you still didn't hold yourself together. Oops. Heal Metaphysics 303. The minute you take apart what you think already got you dismantled, you didn't do anything to fix yourself. You just dismantled what unraveled you, and you helped unravel yourself further because it took more energy from you to defeat it instead of freeing yourself. Free yourself and see that ain't none of this shit really got a goddamn consequence to you. It is what is keeping the cycle going. Keeping you paying attention to what has your energy means that you don't have any for yourself. You just have energy for the experience. Holy shit, ego. Energy being generated and operated into an experience to help find a way to help me keep still by moving. Make that make sense? So traditionally, April is your formatted consciousness shift. In 2025, the year of control, the best thing we could have done in April, once we realized, holy shit, this is really our energy. Element of fire. March showed you this is your energy. Connect to the thoughts that will show you that that's the truth. You don't want truth. You just want validation for your ego. So April, the consciousness shift, being that we are formatted in collective consciousness. My thoughts can get in your thoughts can get in my thought. We shared experience as one being under the perception of separation. To make that simple, April showed to where while we may be perceiving ourselves as separate, we can do some things together. That is the format for the collective consciousness. April said all you got to do is figure out the safest thoughts for the collective and figure out why the collective ain't safe. You understand that? If everybody would have got together and say, okay, that's a valid sickness, that's not a valid sickness, what can we do to alleviate the situation? We won't do that though. We figure out why the stupid, stinking, filthy rich get richer while the poor are trying to figure out their next meal. So instead of focusing on, no, we got to quit allowing, for safe spaces in that shit, we try and figure out how to get into safer spaces by giving them the space to keep us in danger. And then you come up with all kind of bullshit why it's the way. So April said, you're supposed to be shifting your consciousness into focusing on singularity, but you motherfuckers are too busy being pulled apart by everything that's said. I don't want you to hold yourself together. I don't want you to hold yourself together. 2 plus 3 in March was a 5. April, another 5. This is the temperance card. When you temper still, you are forming it into what works for you. We were created as a weapon. We are urgently being drowned. So instead of wondering why we are in 2 feet of water and cannot swim, we're figuring out why the water keep getting in my nose. You understand that? Instead of wondering why you are in the water, you wondering where the water coming from and why are they doing this to me? Why are you there? And in the sense that where you can't give yourself an authentic answer on why you're there, why are you allowing them in your space? See how that worked itself right back around from the beginning? If you keep making space for stuff that does not have positive intentions for your energy, it's you. If you keep making space for things that already told you is going to put you in harm, you're the first form of danger. So March said, you're passionate about giving up your energy. April said, you're passionate about drowning. You are so far in safe mode to where you don't know how to process safety. You just want safe mode to be less dangerous. So bonus card, because 2 5s is manipulation. The hidden component for 2025, where we keep lessening ourselves by giving our energy to the same shit that's killing us. Something that many of us saying for a long time. You keep giving your energy to the same motherfuckers that's killing us. The hidden program was, we don't know how to think for ourselves. We don't know how to think for ourselves. We keep sharing our healing with what's killing us. This is what you hear me say all the time. You can't heal your traumas. In the minute that you heal your traumas, you give all your energies to the traumas, to re-traumatize you. See, I'm healing my traumas. You mean you changing your past? No, it's not about changing my past. It's about learning how to process it different. But that don't require no healing. That just requires you to be present and make better choices on why you can't sit your punk ass down and be still. See, you too harsh because you don't understand grief and you don't know because I lost my mama last year. Here come all the concessions for why the way that you want to process the tricks of this realm, keeping you in lower vibration. You want to vibrate just as high as those low vibrations, and you don't want nobody to steal that shit from you. I just need time to heal, so I'm going to share my energy with thought forms and programmers that only want to keep me sick. If you give all your energy to your sickness, you will never be healed. But you can't teach you ignorant motherfuckers nothing. So the hidden programming between March and April, the equinox and the consonant shift was keeping you to share 9, and this is the year of the 9, your highest vibration with the programming. What was the programming? Keeping you burning yourself by giving all your fire to what's keeping you lit. Playing small while pretending to be big. Playing small while pretending to be bigger than what they are. A bunch of narcissistic, victimized babies. That's all we got out here right now. There's a bunch of people who hide behind their sexuality, or they hide behind some false ass intellect tied into some bullshit ass, false ass knowledge, and can't set none of that shit free because none of it set them free. So from April, you go into May. Mother, may I? Mother, may I? See, that's what you should have been asking. If you're going to tie yourself into the illusion of separation, you have to understand that we operate on a planet that most of us call Gaia, and she is a biospheric entity that serves as our mother format, our motherboard, and on our motherboard is the programming to give us everything we need to heal ourselves. So if you came to any level of conscious awareness in May, if you still see yourself in separation, you should have asked this planet to assist you in your healing by assisting it in its healing. Not giving all your energy into the things on this planet that are only destroying her. Because if it destroys her, it destroys you. But you can't teach y'all that either. So May should have been, let me see what I can do to make my environment safer so that I can now find this safety that I keep crying about that I don't get from others. Let me try and perfect my environment. So here was environmental perfection. Learn how to become more conducive to this planet, since she is the representation of plentifulness. So maybe if I work on the plentifulness of the planet, I will start to see the plentifulness in myself. Jedi mind trick, but a valiant one. May said, ask your mother. Ask your mother who has the 9. You remember just what happened under that 55 energy? The hidden program was you have been given your 9, your highest vibration. You've been given your highest vibration to your traumas. This is that fucking snake. The snake said, nah, I'm going to keep on showing you so much shit that's wrong with this planet that you're going to feel bad about what's wrong with the planet, that you just want to separate from everybody else that's doing wrong on the planet, which means I still got you. You understand that? That's that shit you hear me say where people be talking about the 99 going to stand up and then the 1% going to fall. No, because 97% of the 99 that should stand up don't want to know anything else other than what's already got them under control. They don't want to break the system. They don't want to do anything different. They just want to trust and believe and know that somebody else will save them. So if you think that somebody else is going to save you and you buy into formatted systems that teach that as the core identity, and unfortunately, that's a big thing in spirituality and organized religion. You sell your energy into the concepts of deities and spirits and guides and aliens and whatever else that are going to, that they're going to come and petition on your behalf when really they are already here because they are a partition. If you know anything about programming, they are a partition of your energy and separation. You know what, Ricky? I'm going to punch you in your face. I love you. I ain't seen you in a long time. Hey, Ricky. But yeah, it's like Cypher from the Matrix. And again, to be honest, when you are around a bunch of people who don't want anything different, at this point, from my position of wholeness, I don't even blame them anymore. I don't blame people who are, I know the steak ain't real, but at least I can take it. At least I can taste it. I don't blame people like that no more. I used to, and they say have a hashtag, Cypher from the Matrix. You motherfuckers are the reason why we can't make any change because y'all like the same. No. Everyone is a reflection of me in my healing or my sickness. The parts of me that don't want to do anything different are the reflection of my sickness. Let me figure out what am I doing to perfect my healing. You see the shift in energy? Let me, 2, reflect. 7, self-awareness. Let me reflect on me and figure out where knowledge is about to get me wet. What do you mean get you wet? Knowledge is about to drown me. The knowledge that everybody out here don't want different because their programming has taught them that they need to keep on trying to produce different results within the same energy. Samsara's wheel, the reincarnation loop, the definition of insanity. So in the sense that where people only want to find dominion where they've already been dominated, they don't understand that was the whole answer. You're going to find dominion where you're already dominated, you're just going to stay the slave. You're just going to stay the slave. So May said, you out here trying to ask the planet to help you. You only want to gain dominion over the same battlefield that already got you dominated. And again, I say that in the sense to where this year you saw where it was overwhelming because people just really didn't want to make changes. So as much as I would like to help this planet, man, I can't even make it on my own. Struggle mentality got real hard and high this year. Scarcity consciousness, prison mindset, and poverty mindset got real heavy this year where people went even further from, people always talking about, let me find my tribe. People got out of that trying to find a tribe mentality on some aspects because you can't trust nobody, man. You got it just as bad as me. So if I got it just as bad as you, I might as well just stay on my own. Trust, one of the dirtiest words when you're dealing with spirits. Trust got proven to be something not ready. You want us to trust? If you ever do any like mediumship and channeling, a lot of spirits be like, just trust in the process. Man, fuck you with that. Fuck you with that trust shit. Give me the goddamn answer. Trust. No, And it got proven this year, Some of it, yeah, my ego only wants what it wants, but holy shit, my self-awareness says I can't want what everybody else want when they don't want nothing for themselves. So no, I'm not trusting. I'm being aware. Something I've said for probably about the last 7 or 8 years. I don't need trust. I just need awareness. Awareness of me keeps me out of the experience of you. Trust requires experience. Trust says that I'm going to invest in what you have going on to be good for me in such a fashion that all I got to do is let it happen. That's enslavement. That's energetic enslavement. That means you're giving dominion over your outcome to something else, but you're going to trust in the experience. No, trust ain't necessary. Awareness is. May said, you want to do something different for yourself? Have enough awareness. Stop trusting that others are going to think like you when that's the whole spell of Babel is nobody can think the same. That's the whole Kingu curse is you can't see things from my perspective because you always got a piece of your experience that's going to run it down a different course. So from May, you go into June. June took us into the summer solstice, the dog star, the days of summer where holy shit is heating up. Now let me see why I can't keep still. In the summer, you're supposed to see where everything was getting hot. But what did we get? Ice. What we get? Ice. We got ice in the summer. Motivation. The motivation was a distraction. The lesson was you were supposed to find out your own motivation. 2-8, you were supposed to see. 2 is connection. 8, the struggle. You were supposed to see the struggle for what it was and just understand that shit ain't really got nothing to do with us. Now, at that point, unfortunately, just to be realistic with you, a lot of us said, man, that bullshit they got going on in ice ain't got nothing to do with us, man. They can't do that. That shit's illegal. Remember what I said earlier about that sacred clown, that unsacred motherfucker, orange motherfucker? He is only the face of their sickness that really runs this country. So anything that he does or says that represents the sickness that they want to see is allowed. So in a sense to where they have been and keep doing things that we know are not illegal, but illegal is a perspective. When you the motherfucker writing the rules, when you can whitewash and write the rules to fit you, everything else is a condition. So we got distracted by becoming motivated by understanding that, holy shit, only thing we're seeing is everything that we've been taught to watch out for. That might make sense to some of you. The Orwell theories and shit like that. 1984, Big Brother. We got shown everything that we said that if it ever happened, shit was up. As a conspiracy theorist, especially online since like 2013, everybody back then, we was on that Rex 84, red plan, blue pan, martial law, the FM 33-910, all this other shit. We was on all that shit like that, man. Watch out for that. If they ever get to this point where they do da-da-da-da-da-da-da, shit's up, man. That's when the fucking people gonna stand up. We ain't gonna tolerate that. Hell yeah, brother, we ain't gonna tolerate that. I don't like your black ass, but I'm gonna be right there for you. I don't like your white ass either, but we gonna be right there. All that bullshit like that, everybody used to do that shit all the time. And then look what happened. They did basically everything short of fucking push the button, and ain't nobody done shit except for run back to their corner. Wanna know why? Because they inundated us with so much information to show us that we're not ready to get it together, that they told us, we won't allow you to fall apart. Did you catch that? They won't allow us to move from where we're already trapped at. They won't allow us to move from where we're already trapped at because it means that I take it back. It means that they might lose their energy. As long as we are motivated by all this bullshit that they keep doing, as long as we pay more attention to them than to ourselves individually and then in the perspective of authentic collectivity, the shit that should matter, your utopian type energies, as long as we pay attention to the depravity energies and the energies of lack, you're going to keep lessening yourself into the story. So June said, we got all your energy. We'll just keep motivating you by showing you how easy it is to pull you apart. You want to get yourself together? We'll show you how easy it is to pull you apart. So then that dirty word I just told you a few minutes ago really comes into play. There will be no trust. We don't trust. As an individual, I couldn't trust none of you. I don't give a fuck about your skin color. That's just my military experience. I don't trust none of you. But speaking as a melanated person, I wouldn't just overtly trust somebody non-melanated to have my back because that's not the experience. And vice versa. A non-melanated person wouldn't just trust a black person to have they back just because we're friends. That's not the way society is drawn out. Again, that is the current format of boxed in society. That is the current form of motivation. Keeping us pulled apart so that we can try and figure out how to hold ourselves together by never giving us the safe space to do it. So July, where if you want to play the allegory of independence, in July, you were supposed to be independently setting yourself free from everything that already got you enslaved. But it's another 8. It's another 8. Back here in June, we showed you 2 8s. In July, it was really just 1 8. You understand that? In June, there was 2 struggles. Remember I told you, left wing, right wing, and if you go back, release the files. The Democrats did it, the Republicans did it, and all the other shit. Everybody got back on that bullshit of thinking that politics really matter, parties really matter. And then in July, everything showed you that the lesson was you don't realize they both fly on that same bird. But your victimized mindset of trying to point the finger at who you think is causing the struggle, if you was here at the beginning, like I told you, you so busy pointing the finger at who caused the struggle, you forgot you was the one that showed up for the shit show. So July, more lack of accountability, which led into August. In August, which if you understand the sense of Gregorians, August is an 8 for us, but it's really a 6. It's an instituted month, and it represents your traumas. It represents where you are being ruled over by your traumas. The whole gist of this reading was you have lessened your energy and experience in favor of the traumas that are running your show. August really showed us, especially with mental health, because holy shit, a lot of y'all lost your mind in August. No disrespect, because shit got hard this year because a lot of y'all would not make it easy, but a lot of y'all went rabid, batshit crazy in August. Kalima. Self-destruction. The Tower card. You tried to find order in everything that was only the chaos of your life. Take your time with that one. If you got a lot of chaotic functions in your life and you just trying to organize that chaos instead of processing why that chaos has a place in your life, you're part of the problem. You didn't want to fix your toxicity because your toxicity made you feel safe. You didn't want to change your cyclic behavioral patterns because my cyclic behavioral patterns made me feel safe. You didn't want to adjust your levels of immorality and sexual depravity because it's just who I am, yet you get mad when you kept attracting motherfuckers that was a reflection of the lack of self-worth you exhibited within yourself, and got mad when they didn't see you for who you wanted them to see. You understand that? You put out a product but got mad when you got the perfect buyer. So in August, you ordered your own destruction, Kali Ma, the goddess of destruction. You got addicted to being destructive, that you got mad when you only attracted things that reflected where you were already destroyed. No self-accountability. No self-accountability, no responsibility, just the ability to point your finger at everybody that responded to you, not responding to yourself. You only kept responding to your traumas. As I said, August the 6th, that 6th month in the 8 on our calendar, it's really a 6. You just responded to that 1-6. You gave all your energy, one potential, to the 6, your trauma. Your choices. August showed you it's your choices. But most of y'all don't want to eat that L. Why? September, the fall, the autumnal equinox. In the fall, you were supposed to let go of everything that was not holding you up. See, there's a reprieve when you're doing energetic existence, you're going through an experience. Even if you start out failing, there is the ability to fall. Read between the lines. In the minute that you are failing, you can fall and let go of everything that is making you fail, and then set free. Set yourself free. September, we were supposed to set ourselves free and start making better choices, because September, even though it's a 9 on the calendar, septem means 7. Septem also means tribe. You were supposed to learn how to hold yourself together so that you can become an infected vibration to basically change the vibration of the whole planet. And that's what a lot of y'all do, is y'all, hey, we're going to change the vibration of the planet by bringing in some erratic ass, destructive ass energies and calling that change. You have done nothing to fix your own traumas. You just want what you want, and you feel good about the newfound freedoms that you have received by getting out of oppressive, formatted religion and religious programming, that you now have no accountability and responsibility to yourself because you lost your responsibility and accountability to some formatted ass sky daddy. So now you think you're free. You're free to be degenerate, but not sovereign. Sorry. So that September where you were supposed to be at your highest vibration, oops. If your highest vibration is you with a trauma, you're not high vibrational at all. You've been tricked. 2025 showed you the 25. 20 is judgment. 25 is you've been tricked. The queen of fire. You've only been influenced by what already got you burned. 2 plus 5, 7. Holy shit. 7. Bonus card, but I'll finish this one first. But a bonus card is coming. September says you've been tricked. Your highest vibration is you with traumas. That's not a high vibration. You with awareness of what you've done and you with the accountability of what you will do next is the only you can be. That's the only you can be. And again, if you go back to your timeline, that's a trick and a trap. Your traumas can be high vibrating as shit and actually make you feel good and actually give you experiences. This is what you hear me call the lotus cake of forgetfulness. When you are distracted by your traumas, but your traumas are giving you everything you want to see, or in converse, your traumas are putting you through so much that you can't see nothing else. That's the perfect place for the traumas to have you. The analogy I always use with that saying, the lotus cake of forgetfulness, Percy was supposed to be going to find the lightning rod or whatever, but he went to Las Vegas and they start feeding them cakes. And now they in the casino, they dancing, women sleeping with them, they having parties. He forgot about his fucking mission. Why? Because he was distracted by everything that was taking him away from what he was supposed to be paying attention to. This reading was you're supposed to be paying attention to your wholeness, not your separation. So if you've been tricked into giving all your fire into what made you move, you'll never remember to be still. No, Percy, do not eat any more of the cakes. You can't even remember why you're here. Yeah, but it feels good, and goddamn, you see them titties? And that's where we at. We are easily distracted. And as I said, trauma trick, because this was the fall equinox in September. The fall equinox was you supposed to let go. But as I've been saying for a long time, the thought already knows everything that you're going to think, because the thought is tapped into the original you while you are only seeing you in experience. That's programming. So the thought already says, shit, this motherfucker finna try and find a safer him, but I need him to stay in danger. So that 77, Sagittarius energy, delusional motherfuckers, I'm going to help this person manifest another version of themselves to feel safe with. 17, 27, 37. Spiritual jackpot. I'm going to help them birth another version of themselves to stay stuck in. This is the creatrix card. I'm going to help them birth. You see her giving birth? I'm going to help him or her, birth something else to pay attention to, since the other tricks and the traps are falling apart. What was this about? The fall equinox says, let go of what's holding you up so that you can learn to be free. You let go of what was holding you up, but you picked up something else to take its place. And that is what a lot of people did. And hell, firsthand experience. You let go of one indulgence and picked up another. You got an indulgence of drugs, sex, alcohol. You put it down. Now you got an indulgence of being by myself. I don't want to be around nobody else. Now I'm in spiritual abstinence and I've been celibate for 19 years. Why are you scared to share your energy? Because don't nobody value my energy and people hurt me. Or do you hurt yourself because you don't have enough discernment, intuition, and instinct to make better choices? But I digress. So you're going to trick yourself into becoming 3 sevens. Holy shit, spiritual jackpot. Ding, 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 ding. What was that about? The fall equinox says, I'm not ready to let you go. I just need you to move into a safer space in your mind so I can keep taking your energy. 777, spiritual jackpot. I got you feeling safe and you don't understand that you ain't safe, but you're going to keep feeding me. Best example I can give you, overseer energy. Stephen from motherfucking Django. Stephen was a slave, better, no worse. Well, I can't say no worse. Stephen was a slave just like the other motherfuckers. He just had better position. But he still wasn't free. So the fall equinox will only show us, or did show us this year, how to better enslave ourselves. And look at it. Since September, if you go back and look at your timeline, since September, motherfuckers have only gotten better at being bad. Mental health took a motherfucking backflip and did not die. Mental health got worse. Sexual depravity got worse. There is a titty and an ass and a butt and a dick on every post now. Sorry, as a fucking sexual vampire and sacred whore, I love to see it. But motherfuckers have no sense of morality within themselves, so they share too much because it's the only thing that makes them feel safe. I'm going to help you create a new level of safety by further endangering yourself. Now we went into October. October, you've already fell prey to the trick. The trick of October was you see one number when there's really 3. There's a 1, there's a 0, and there's a 10. But I already told you I want you to see. You still eating the lotus cakes of forgetfulness. So in the sense of where you only lessened yourself in this past October, you have been caught up in the 8. Oct means 8. You caught up in the struggle. You caught up in the struggle. And you're going to make a choice. You caught up in the struggle. Which was it? The 1, the 0, the 10? Or none of them? It was the 1. You already gave all your potential. 1 is your energy and potential. You already gave your potential to what already got you manipulated. So October, the number 8, which is actually the 10th month, went into November, which is the 9th month. Novem. But it's the 11th month by a calendar, but Novem means 9. You have to understand the level to a spell. You can change the name, but you can't change the vibration. You can rename the number 1, but it'll still always have the same value. Sorry. So Novem, the 11th month that really still functions as a 9, in the year of the 9, it showed you what got you under control. November showed us what had us under control. When I'm telling you now, control is the whole problem. Don't want control, want awareness. Don't want control, want awareness. That 1 already showed you the 3. This is the death card. The death card in reverse means that you ain't gonna die. Remember, I told you in the fall, you had a chance to get free, but it was conducive to the system to just move you into another level of the cage to where you keep providing your energy. This is transmutation. We're going to keep you stagnated. We're going to keep you stuck in holding on to what's drowning you. If you was here earlier, we had the temperance card where the water was drowning them. We're going to have you keep holding on to what's drowning you because you're not going to realize all you have to do is stand up and be free. You in 2 feet of water and you thinking you drowning, but all you got to do is stand up because you're literally 6 feet tall. But you authentically can drown in 2 feet of water. If you do not remember how to stand up, 2 feet of water is enough to take you out. If you do not remember how to stand up for yourself, 2 feet of water can take you out. Some of y'all don't know how to stand up for yourself because you're too busy laying down for your traumas and you're waiting for your traumas to give you a safe space to breathe. Oops. So November showed us where we just stuck in the cycles of death. And holy shit, 12, where we're at now and what we just passed, the winter solstice, the day of death, where you get rid of the seeds that have been killing you and you don't plant nothing at all. You see shit for what it is. Ta-da. See, that was the whole trick. Don't plant no seeds in the winter solstice. Don't get out here write no petitions of what you want to get rid of because you're giving it your energy. Be thankful for what you have and sit your punk ass down and be still. All right, I see shit for what it is. I'm just going to be still. Because the minute I tell manifestation what I want, manifestation just became manipulation. But you can't teach you motherfuckers that December, 10, you decimated yourself. You tore yourself apart by what you chose. But December, the 12th month, 12 is the ritual. All you did this past week here is give your energy to rituals. Whether that is Saturnalia, whether that is Sol Invictus, whether that is Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yalda, Isaiah. It don't matter which fucking, the King of Feasts. It don't matter what antiquity name or New Age name you gave your energy to. We all gave our energy into the format of rituals, which means we're not ready to be free. So we all wasted our energy on arguing about which one was oldest and which one was authentic when ain't none of them real. They're all just ideologies of trying to make sense of what we were seeing. The long night, the stars come out in a different pattern this time every night. The transition in seasons, the animals are behaving different. The crops are behaving different. Instead of just honoring that shit for what it was, we needed to put a label on it. And the minute we put a label on what things are, people ain't never been married. The minute you put a label on the energy, you already kill it. That is something people always talk about. You in a relationship, and the minute you start putting labels on it and start changing the authenticity of what it was, that shit's already in the field of death, waiting to die. Why? Because you changed the authenticity. December said we changed our authenticity in this lesson of learning how to let go of what we think we know because we needed something to replace it. So we needed to choose something to replace what we did not want to see, which means if you wasn't here from the beginning, this was all about stop trying to see yourself in separation and start to see yourself in authenticity. If you're still just trying to see yourself in the results of where authenticity was not ordered or ordained or earned, you still ain't ready to be what you already were. So all we focusing on is what we going to get from movement. What you're going to get? A 26. You're going to get apathy. Your awareness is now in a path But why? Your awareness is now in a path, meaning it can't keep still. But why? The answer, because you won't choose you. You keep choosing your traumas. The lesson of 2025 was stop choosing your traumas. Stop choosing anything that is not a representation of you in stillness, because even if it feels good, it's only going to be a denotation of you pulling yourself apart. But people can't process that. Your mind is set up on duality. Your mind is set up on division. Your mind is set up on ascension. What happens when someone sets you up? Words and spells.